What if someone you know died because you weren't physically fit enough to help them live? Heffa's dad had collapsed in the kitchen. Right after he hung up on that call, Dan received another one from Heffa's 10-year-old son, Soa. He said, "Uncle Dan, my dad just fell over in the kitchen. He's not moving or breathing." When Dan arrived, he was shocked to see the ambulance still parked in the driveway. Inside, he found two older, out-of-shape EMTs struggling to lift Heffa's dad. Despite the advances in modern technology that should prevent a man like Heffa Sr. to pass away, he sadly passed away from a stroke, leaving behind 3 young sons and a grieving widow. At the funeral, everyone felt a mix of sadness and frustrated anger. Anger because the EMTs hadn't taken their physical fitness seriously enough to perform their duties effectively and indirectly caused Heffa Sr. to die.
Welcome to We Play Full Out with Bart and Sonny Miller. Take it away, Sonny.
Thank you, Bart.
Yeah.
I'm going to start today with a question. What if someone you know died because you weren't physically fit enough to help them live?
Yikes.
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
Yeah.
Let's talk more about that.
Well, we recently had the chance to attend an event where Dan Clark was both a speaker and a teacher. He shared this heartbreaking story. Dan's daughter is a professional dancer touring in London. When she was just 12 years old, she took dance lessons at a place called Center Stage in Utah. Fun fact, this is where Derek and Julianne Hough learned how to dance.
Awesome.
Her dance partner and best friend was a boy named Heffa. One day, Dan's daughter, Heffa, Heffa's mom, and Dan's wife were all in Denver for a national dance competition. During the event, Dan's wife called in with some urgent news. Heffa's dad had collapsed in the kitchen and Dan needed to get there quickly. Right after he hung up on that call, Dan received another one from Heffa's 10-year-old son, Soa. He said, "Uncle Dan, my dad just fell over in the kitchen. He's not moving or breathing."
That would be quite a call to receive.
Right?
Not gonna lie.
Especially somebody that you know that's like close to you.
Yeah.
Well, Dan asked if he had called 911 and Soa confirmed that he had. Dan promised to get there as fast as he could and he drove like mad for 45 minutes to reach Spanish Fork, Utah. When Dan arrived, he was shocked to see the ambulance still parked in the driveway. Inside, he found two older, out-of-shape EMTs struggling to lift Heffa's dad. Now, he was a big Polynesian firefighter who stood at 6 foot 2 feet and had 200 pounds of solid muscle. Unfortunately, they weren't fit enough to get him onto the gurney, out the door, and into the ambulance so they could race him to the hospital. Because it was a small town with limited resources, they had to call for help from a nearby town, which, as you can well imagine, caused more delays. Now, despite the advances in modern technology that should prevent a man like Heffa Sr. to pass away, he sadly passed away from a stroke, leaving behind 3 young sons and a grieving widow.
Yeah, I think at that point in time, I would be, as a friend, frustrated, upset, let down, disappointed, and there'd be a lot of emotions, I think, on the family end and everything else. I mean, that'd be crazy.
You're spot on. At the funeral, everyone felt a mix of sadness and frustrated anger. Anger because the EMTs hadn't taken their physical fitness seriously enough to perform their duties effectively and indirectly caused Heffa Sr. to die.
You know, this is an amazing example in so many things, right? Because they could be the most amazing EMTs.
They probably were.
Yeah, exactly.
They could have
Medically,
been.
right? Like
Yeah.
they know all the things, how to do all the stuff, where everything's at on the van, but one thing, right? Didn't have enough fitness to pick somebody up, right?
Yeah.
Imagine that you're super fit and then you're on the opposite end.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for
like
sure.
There's so many good examples that are like popping in my head right now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, most of us are not EMTs, but some of us are parents, partners, leaders, business owners, And our bodies are the only vehicle we get for any of that. Your body is the container of your power, not your punishment.
Amen.
That's why our We Play Full Out Life Mastery program starts with the gateway called the vessel, our bodies. The code we unlock within this gateway is, just as I said, my body is the container of my power, not my punishment.
Yeah. And you know what's so cool about what we're talking about is that, let me brag a little bit on our family, but you know, we've always taken fitness seriously.
Yeah.
Like our son was a competitive cyclist. I was a competitive cyclist. You know, so on and so forth. I can talk about our daughters, everything like that.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got photos with our family in full-on stage-ready bodies. And not that you have to be stage-ready, but I think the way we've acted as parents has really shined through in our kids and them saying, hey, this is important because we want to be able to play and do things. And now that we have a grandbaby, holy, takes it to a whole nother level for me because she really is a workout.
She is. She
You
takes
know what
a
I mean?
lot of energy.
Holy cow.
Oh, so this month in I Do Epic, which is our elite execution network for high performers, we are having a really fun fitness challenge. Yes, it is almost summertime and slimming down and getting toned up is top of mind, but our bodies are about so much more than looking good.
Amen.
At the end of the day, it isn't about having six-pack abs. It's about being available for your life. That's physically, energetically, and emotionally.
So many good things.
Yeah.
Like so many reasons why this is important, right? Because, I mean, just one that pops in my head is that if you want to do anything, you just want to have enough energy to be able to be energetic, right?
Yeah.
To actually go do something.
And enjoy it. How many times, like when I just don't have the energy and I look outside and it's a beautiful day and I want to be out there enjoying it so bad, but it's like, I just can't do it. Like I'm too tired.
Yeah. All right. Well, I ask you guys, if you're watching this or listening to it right now, really to do a self-check, because at the end of the day, like your fitness is going to determine your business, like Sunny said, business life, this, that, the other, everything you're doing.
Yep. So our bodies were not designed to sit all day, all fingers pointing at us as entrepreneurs. It wants to move. It craves movement. It wants to serve you, and it does at a very high level. Think of all the things your body does in a day that you don't even consider.
Hey, I'm telling you one thing, like you guys can see right there. I know it doesn't look like much, right?
Right.
But honestly, like
hurts.
you take it for granted when all of a sudden you put it down, you're like, oh, ouch. Or like all of a sudden that scab starts to get a little tighter, right?
Yeah.
It's just crazy how
Yeah.
we take our bodies when they're at a certain level for so much granted. Like we just take it.
Yes.
Like we don't even think about it.
We don't.
But boy, when something happens, we do.
Sure do. So we're going to start with vital functions. So you stay alive without lifting a finger. Your heart beats 100,000 times a day to circulate blood and oxygen while your lungs are busy taking 20,000 breaths a day while simultaneously oxygenating cells and removing CO2.
Crazy.
While this is happening, your brain is firing billions of signals to coordinate movement, thoughts, and emotions.
Dang.
Your kidneys filter 50 gallons of blood per day, removing toxins, and your liver neutralizes harmful substances and regulates over 500 vital functions. Our bodies are machines.
Absolutely,
Right?
right? And we don't even think about it.
We don't have to sit and think about, okay, pump heart, pump heart, pump heart. You know what I mean?
Sometimes I do. You scare me to death. I'm like,
Yeah.
come on, heart, pump.
Okay, repair and protection. So you're healing 24/7, as Bart was just saying about his cut on his arm. Your skin regenerates constantly, healing cuts, bruises, and scrapes without any kind of a conscious effort on your part. Your immune system detects and attacks thousands of foreign invaders daily. Broken bones fuse, infections are fought off, and damaged cells are recycled or replaced. Your body cleanses itself, detoxifying through your liver, kidneys, breath, and even your sweat. We're going to keep going.
Dang, let's go.
This is
like,
all amazing.
Man, these people are going to be like, I didn't know so much about the
I
body.
know. You're going to want to write down all these facts.
Yeah.
Okay, energy and digestion. You eat, you live.
It's a good thing.
Your digestive system turns food into energy, cells, hormones, and mood regulating chemicals. Enzymes break down complex meals into usable building blocks, and your gut microbiome helps regulate your immune system and even your mood.
What have you been eating lately?
I've been off sugar, so I might be a little grumpy. Okay, balance and sensing. So you're walking magic.
Yes.
Yep. Your vestibular system.
That's a big
hopefully
one.
I said that right. Keeps you upright and balanced while moving. Again, without a thought, your muscles contract and coordinate in harmony with your nervous system even when you're asleep. Your eyes adjust to light instantly, and your ears can filter out background noise. Your superbrain processes pain, pleasure, fear, joy, and stores your memories, dreams, and desires.
Process more pleasure. Process more pleasure.
Where's the joy? Where's the joy? Emotional and energetic alchemy. Then we get to the emotional and energetic category.
Let's do it.
Your body responds to joy with serotonin and endorphins. Love me some serotonin.
Yeah, little endorphins are good once in a
Yeah.
while, especially in those workouts.
Yeah. But it also releases cortisol and adrenaline to protect you in stress. Our posture and breath change your confidence and clarity in real time. And finally, your heart produces an electromagnetic field detectable several feet away, influencing others.
Wow.
Are you influencing me right now?
Absolutely.
Alrighty then.
You like it?
I do.
Good.
If you take all of that into consideration, your body could technically be considered your best friend. Better than a best friend, more like a sacred companion or cohort.
It's your supercomputer, baby.
Really is. Your body is working for you and serving you 24 hours a day. We didn't even talk about how it grows your fingernails, grows your eyelashes, all the things, right?
All
There's
the
even
things.
more than what we've discussed here.
Crazy. Should we just keep going on? Should we AI this and just get more stuff for everybody out there?
No,
Okay.
I think we get the point.
You getting the point? Okay.
Yeah, so again, your body is working for you and serving you 24 hours a day, even when you've neglected it, even when you're mad at it, even when you aren't listening to it. I don't think you'd continue to serve me if I acted that way.
I don't know if any of us would serve others.
But our bodies do.
They do it.
Our bodies do. And what do you give it in return? Do you talk to it the way you would talk to your best friend? Or do you spew toxic negativity at it every time you look in the mirror? Do you feed it the way you would feed a small child? No toxins or chemicals? Or do you fill it with junk and expect it to run like a Ferrari?
I hope you're not talking about my Cheetos. Don't go there.
That was your outside voice.
Don't go there.
I wasn't going there.
Okay, good.
Your body continues functioning for you, but if you ignore it, it starts ignoring you back. And the cost of that? You're tired all the time. Your brain fogs out halfway through the day. You get injured doing things that used to be easy. Maybe you feel overexerted from things that used to be easy.
Yeah.
You can't play full out with your kids or grandkids because you get too tired too quickly. That doesn't sound familiar.
No.
No.
Don't want any of that either.
So there's two parts to this. First is physical fitness isn't just going to the gym, it's a way of life.
Yeah.
Staying physically fit and healthy isn't just about going to the gym. It really is, once again, a way of life. The solution doesn't have to be extreme, aka you don't have to live at the gym.
Yeah.
Although a 30-minute gym workout per day is a pretty legit thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But you can and should move as much as you can.
Yeah, and on that point, you guys, like for me, the biggest thing is like I used to do kettlebells, and a 30-minute kettlebell workout for your overall body used to blow me up. But I was at one of my strongest points.
Your core strength.
Core, everything, arms, hands, moving that bell around,
Yeah.
you know, my squats. It was crazy what that did
Yeah,
for me.
I
I
agree.
loved it. So
I
a 30-minute workout can absolutely get you ripped.
Yep. So some other things you can do. Park farther away. We
What?
always like,
I thought it was the coolest thing to manifest the front row parking spot. You're telling me it's not?
no. You could park farther away. Take the stairs. walk the dog longer, pick up something heavy on purpose.
Yeah.
Go to bed used up, like your body did something. I can't remember the book we were reading, but it basically said you should go to bed physically exhausted every night.
Yeah.
Like your body just, it actually craves it.
Yeah.
And I think we all know we should eat healthy. So stay in tune with what your body needs and feed it the fuel to optimize yourself on a daily basis. Because in reality, we live in a world engineered for convenience, which means we have to consciously choose to live inconveniently.
Yeah. Well, and I think on that note too, like, let's be clear, diesel runs on diesel, which isn't a high performance fuel,
No.
but it chugs along.
Yeah.
A lower grade fuel will get you by. But if you want to be a Ferrari and you want to run a Ferrari engine, you've got to put high octane in it. So there's just levels of fuel that you put in, and you can just use the analogy of a car of how you want to perform at that level.
Yeah, high performer, then you need,
You got to act
high
like
octane.
one. I mean, if you're a Ferrari, you got to act like it.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you're running a company, you're running all these things, you better be looking at yourself as a Ferrari and doing the best you can. Now, sometimes you just can't. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But, you got to do the best you can.
Yeah. Because again, fitness isn't about looking good, although that can be fun too. It's about being ready and able to show up and play full out in your life.
Let's go.
All right, we're going to go over to number 2. Physical fitness isn't just about moving our bodies, it's how we talk to them. So, now that we're locked and loaded on getting our bodies up and moving, we need to discuss how we are talking to our bodies. Now, I have a friend who is constantly pointing out things about her body she doesn't like. She wondered if her body could hear her, even if she wasn't saying it out loud. I responded with a definitely don't do it. Like abort, abort, abort. As someone who has struggled with body image, I found it hard not to self-criticize until I started thinking about all the crazy cool stuff my body can do.
Yeah, it's so
So
good.
now every day I take time to consciously notice something my body can do, and I praise it for being so awesome.
Yep.
I can be even just like, oh, check out my toes, or like, look at my fingers, look at what they can do. Like I can hold things, I can make things, I can create, It doesn't always have to be about whether I look the best in the world or not,
So good.
The energy shift has been extremely noticeable and self-image has definitely improved. But interestingly enough, there are all kinds of unconscious processes that kick into play when we think negative thoughts about our bodies. We're going to talk about how your brain registers self-criticism as a threat.
Yeah, I don't want to be threatened by it.
So negative self-talk activates your amygdala, which is your brain's fear center. Your body actually perceives it like emotional danger. This releases cortisol, which is the stress hormone. Chronic cortisol release weakens your immune system, increases inflammation, and stores fat. In other words, beating yourself up makes your body defend against you instead of working for you. Not crazy?
So crazy. Just once again, it's such a powerful mechanism that we don't even understand all of it. So when we get enlightened about it, we need to pay attention. And I know this may sound boring to some or not as exciting to learn about, but at the end of the day, if you don't know what you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
So once you're aware of it, then you can do something about it. So hopefully they're getting, we're all getting awareness about what is going on so that we can make a greater impact.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about like beating somebody up every day,
You wouldn't do it.
you wouldn't do it. They would start to defend against you. They would put up all the stress hormones and the adrenaline, the cortisol
100%.
every time they see you, right?
Totally.
So it makes sense
Yep.
that your body would do the same thing. The next one is that cells eavesdrop on your emotions. According to Dr. Candace Pert, author of Molecules of Emotion, your thoughts and feelings create biochemical messages that flood every cell in your body. If you think, don't say out loud, even if you just think, I'm disgusting, your body actually copies and pastes that instruction into your biology just like a computer code. So you are coding
Yeah.
your body
100%.
that you're disgusting.
Supercomputer again, right?
Yeah. Cells adapt to that vibration, and over time, it literally shapes your health, posture, and energy field.
Yeah, it's crazy. And so I was with a young entrepreneur today, and we were having a conversation, and it was just about a text. And I could just tell that there was a lot of emotion around it as he talked about this text.
Yeah.
And so we started to discuss that just because I was like, so why do you have this emotion? Kind of went through the whole process. And I think by the end of it, he had such an aha moment of like, no wonder I'm attracting this. No wonder this is happening in my life. No wonder, because I'm creating all that energy. It's me, and that is the hardest thing sometimes. It's like the saying goes, when we're pointing a finger at somebody, we think we're pointing one finger at them, or we're pointing them all really back at us.
Yeah.
But it's really a reality check, because I've done it. I did it for years, didn't knowing I was pointing all 10 fingers back at myself.
Yeah.
And when we have those aha moments, it's just like, dang. But it's like, thank you.
Yeah.
That's exactly, now I understand how to
change it
program the
if you don't
computer.
understand it.
Yeah. If you don't know coding, you can't do it.
So good. Okay, so again, negative self-talk, you disrupt the mind-body feedback loop. Your body is always, as we were saying, trying to support you through healing, balance, and communication. But when you constantly insult it, ignore its signals, or punish it with shame, you shut down communication, you become numb, disconnected, or constantly in pain. You might even start to sabotage healthy habits because deep down you don't believe you deserve vitality.
It's crazy. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
We don't deserve wealth. We don't deserve this. We don't deserve that, We have this programming running behind, and we don't even know sometimes it's running, but we got to figure it out. You got to go find that code, delete it.
You do, because I think self-sabotage is very common.
100%.
And we know that we're doing it, but we don't know why we're doing it.
Amen.
So hone in on that. Zap it.
Well, yeah, exactly. Not only zap it, but realize some of it's not your fault. It's just the way you were raised, and your parents had the same self-talk, and therefore it was transferred to you. Once again, that energetic system we were talking about has a lot to do with it.
It really does. Okay, the last one I believe is that you reinforce negative identity loops. Thoughts repeated become beliefs, beliefs become identity, and identity becomes action. So if you're thinking, I always give up, becomes you don't even start. I'll never look good becomes you don't nourish or move your body. My body is broken becomes you subconsciously reinforce patterns of illness or fatigue.
It's crazy.
So what you want to do is flip the script and start speaking to your body like it's a sacred partner. Your body responds to love. It lights up when you say thank you. It softens when you say I'm listening. It heals faster when you say I believe in you.
So good.
Yeah. Thoughts don't just become things. We've heard that before.
Yep.
I think I've read a whole book on it.
Yeah, lots of books on it.
But they become cells, patterns, and possibilities inside of you.
Yep. Let's go. So good.
Yeah.
So many takeaways in here to just really noodle on, think on, but really just be aware of yourself. And if you're not, the best way I find is to journal. Just take and start journaling, because when you start journaling, those thoughts will come in. Just write those thoughts down right then and there, and then just line them through, cross them out, and rewrite what you want. And as a matter of fact, at our event, one of the things we're going to do is write down all this negativity. We're going to take it out at the campfire, and we're going to burn it. And
Bonfire.
it's like funny because here's an example if you want to find one of these that you work on. But let's say you have something inside of you that you just aren't in love with money. What I dare you to do is just go draw out $5,000 and carry it with you for an entire month. Now, for some of you, that's going to be like, what? Are you kidding me right now? That's a lot of money. What if I lost it? Well, what is that all of a sudden saying about you?
Yeah.
You're scared that you're not going to make the money back. You're scared that you're going to give the money away. You're scared of all these things, because if you weren't scared, you wouldn't be worried about it for a second, because you know it's water. It's coming back. It's no big deal. I can carry it anywhere. If it disappears, that was what it was meant to happen. You see what I'm saying?
I do.
But it's a hack. So if you don't pack cash on you and you're afraid of that, then you're afraid of money in some way, shape, or form.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I was going to say in terms of body image and the things that we've been talking about, if you are ready to go out, say for the summer, and you've got an outfit on, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm going to throw on a sweatshirt because I don't like how I look.
Yep.
It's the same thing.
Yep.
It's like, no, you just got to go out and own it.
Yeah, and just tell yourself, no, I am beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm awesome.
Because as soon as you start covering up or start thinking those thoughts, then your body's going to respond.
Totally, 100%.
Yeah. All right, I think we're on to life updates.
Let's go. What we got?
Well, this week we had little Lila over for almost the entire week.
Yeah, we did. Boy, I forgot a lot about little babies.
She is 6 months old. Her mom, Mercedes, went to Disney World, so we had the pleasure of having her little busy energy around us all day. And it was so fun. It definitely reminded us of how much energy those little humans take.
Yeah. Whew, I'd say.
We have been event planning like crazy and getting more and more excited as it draws near. We have 5.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
5.
5 tickets left.
And 2 luxury tents left.
Woot, woot.
So come party with us if you feel called to. It's June 5th through the 7th at Mountain River Ranch here in Idaho. You can check it out at www.idoepiclive.com. We
also have the Playbook Power Hour. Call last Tuesday. It was a great call. Our I Do Epic group, through the 7-Figure Entrepreneurs Playbook, we talked about 90-day goals and what they are going to accomplish within the next 30 days. We're hyper-focused on hitting these targets and growing our business and their businesses with this strategy. And I'll tell you what, that call was just so much fun. It's so great to see our entrepreneurs just like really dive into why they need a why they need to plan, how to plan backwards makes for success, how to plan for their family, how to attach the business, how to get buy-in from their family on what they're doing so that their family supports them. I mean, there's just so much good stuff that we went through there that was just awesome. So I'm so grateful we did that. And
well, I like to always say, if you don't know where you're going, how are you going to get there?
Yeah, right? And I know that analogy is used a lot, but that's the truth,
It's
right?
the truth.
So good. All right, and so I think everything Kobe, we talked about last week, got in his saxophone things he did, had a great lesson this week.
Xander, by chance?
Is that what I said? Is Kobe? I said, yeah, Xander.
Kobe's our other son.
Yeah. So Xander got all that done, which has been awesome, and he's been driving himself to school so far safely.
Yep.
And been playing a little pickleball with us too, which has been nice.
Yeah.
All right.
He can still beat me. He doesn't practice as much as I do.
I don't know what to say to that, so I'm just going to leave that alone.
Say. There's nothing to say.
All right. Well, is that everything in our updates?
That's it.
All right. So thank you for watching. If you feel like this was important for you, or you could share it with anybody else, that would help us a ton, because we kind of want to get the message out. There's other podcasts. You can go listen to those also. That would be great. So with that, this segment's sponsored by I Do Epic.